Okay, so it's Sunday morning. I'm heading down to do a 4-mile trail, which I do like every I try to do it on my fast days. So my fast days are Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So I try to do it on each of those mornings. It kind of helps me be ready for, you know, my fast day and be mentally prepared for it. It doesn't always work out, but I really try to. So today is Sunday, so I am going down to do my trail, and I'm in Seattle. It's beautiful in Seattle today. It's a little chilly right now. It's only 49 degrees, but it's supposed to be 68, and we haven't seen 68 in a long time in Seattle, so very excited for that. So, but I wanted to talk about why I alternate day fast, because I know it can be different for a lot of people as far as why they do it or why they started and why they continue doing it. So of course, for me, I mean, the initial draw was to lose weight. I mean, I think that's why, you know, most people start doing alternate day fasting, is to lose weight. But when I first I've done intermittent fasting before, but I never really considered like the mental health benefits of fasting until I really learned about alternate day fasting. I never thought of intermittent fasting as anything from mental health. It was just for weight loss, right? So, but I do think that, you know, the benefits of alternate day fasting far exceed intermittent fasting, in my personal opinion. And I've only been doing this for not even 2 months now. I'll have to look at my calendar and figure out. I'm probably somewhere around 6 weeks, I think. I'll double check. And so, so I certainly started off to lose weight, and you definitely lose weight. If you go 3 days a week without eating, you're going to lose weight. And I originally thought that oh, well, I'm just gonna binge eat like crazy on my feasting days to make up for my fast days. But that's not true. That's not the case. That's not how I feel. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to eat everything, because with alternate day fasting, it's just the one day that you're not eating. Anything that you want to eat on your fast day, you know you can just have it tomorrow. And so knowing that you can just have it tomorrow makes it easier, an easier pill to swallow, to not eat it right then in the moment. Versus when I did other diets, when I did South Beach or, you know, other things, I felt like, God, I can never have bread again. I can never have junk food again. And so that whole idea of never being able to have it again led me to want to have those binging days, have those big cheat days, and to you know, break my diet. And so when I did South Beach, I can never go more than 2 weeks on phase 1. And so I would do it for 1 or 2 weeks, and then I would blow it, and I would go off and eat a bunch of crap. And it usually would continue on, not just a 1-day thing. It would be you know, a few days, a few weeks, whatever. And I'd be on this yo-yo. Whereas with alternate day fasting, I don't feel like I'm on that yo-yo. It's not that big of a deal to not have something for a day if I know that I can have it tomorrow. And so it's so much easier to manage and to maintain. Now, there definitely have been days where I was supposed to fast and I didn't. I think I told you that about my vacation for spring break. I kind of thought I might fast, but kind of knew that I wouldn't, and I didn't. And it was a very intentional decision to not fast when I was down there. But then when we got back on a Saturday night, and when we got back that Sunday, I was fasting and I was down here. And I made a video that day, and I shared it kind of about what that was like and kind of getting back on the bandwagon. And so I'll definitely link that below if you haven't seen that already. But with alternate day fasting, I really feel like you get mental clarity that you don't get from other diets, in my experience. And with alternate day fasting, I don't really think of it as a diet. I mean, it is in the sense that you are restricting what you eat and when you eat. So, you know, I think that qualifies as being a diet, but I don't feel that way. I don't feel, usually when I'm on a diet, I feel deprived. That's how I usually know that I'm on a diet, because I'm deprived and I'm not letting myself have something that I want to have. But with alternate day fasting, it's just for a day. And so it's not such a deprivation because I know that I can just have it tomorrow. And so I think the mental clarity, and it feels like a reset. Like on the days that I fast, it feels like a reset. I feel like I'm kind of more in tune with like how I'm feeling about whatever is going on or whatever I you know, am doing. And then also like the morning after a fast day, like my stomach is so flat. Like, and I've never experienced that before. And so that's definitely, you know, a huge perk. And when you wake up the morning after a fast day, it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm starving, I'm so hungry. Like, no, I wake up and I'm like, I could eat, but I don't really feel hungry, you know. And so I usually can wait until 9 or 10 or so to eat breakfast. Like, I'm not starving when I wake up, which is what I would think would have happened before I started doing it. I would have thought like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be starving, I'm gonna be so hungry, I'm gonna be hangry all day long, and there's no way I'm gonna make it through a fast day. But not really true. But you know, the biggest tip for me on a fast day is to make sure I'm busy. Like, I can't just be sitting at home doing nothing on a fast day. That's just a recipe for disaster. So I make sure I stay busy. So on Sundays, I'm doing this trail, I'm doing stuff around the house, getting ready for the week. You know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like on Thursdays is a really busy work day for me. Usually I do all my in-person client signings for my office on Thursdays with my paralegal. And so like with my practice, I do estate planning and stuff, and so we can't e-sign those documents. Well, actually in Washington State, you technically can now. We just started that in January. I'm not on board with it, so I don't do it. I still require wet signatures, so clients come down to the office, we sign them, notarize them, witness, all the things. So I do that on, so Thursdays are usually like back-to-back client appointments in person to stay busy, so I don't really have the time to think about eating because I'm go all day long. So that makes it easier. And then Tuesdays are usually you know, phone or Zoom appointments, and I just, you know, have things going on or meetings. And so staying busy on my fast days is key. And so gosh, what else do I want to talk about? I mean, I think that's, I just wanted to talk about why I do alternate day fasting, because I would tell you that, like, if I had thought about doing this a year or two ago, I would have been like, oh, there's no way that I could go a day without food. Like, intermittent fasting is hard enough as it is. Like, there's no way I would make it. I will just be miserable. And for some reason, I don't know the reason, but when I started watching and learning about alternate day fasting, like, I don't know, a month and a half, I think it's been about 6 weeks. Like, I watched a video one morning when I woke up and I was like, I'm ready to do that. I was mentally like ready to do it. It felt like a challenge to see, like, gosh, could I go a day without eating? Like, I don't know if I can. And so that's how I approached my first day alternate day fasting, and I'm pretty sure I've shared that, so I will share that below. And then when I got through that first day and was like, wow, like, I did it. Like, I can do that. I can alternate day fast. I made it through day 1. Then I was like, gosh, could I do it for the week? Could I do it for 3 days? I don't know. And got through the first week. I forget what I lost that first week. I don't know, 5, it wasn't 6 pounds. I think it was like 5 something, 5.5 or something like that. And it was just like, wow. Like, and I knew like that was not going to be how much weight I would lose on a continuing basis. You're not going to continually lose 5 pounds a week. But just seeing those types of results and not feeling like I was restricted in the same way I had been restricted on other diets, and I felt good about myself, and I felt positive about the process and the experience of ADF. And so I don't know, it just it I approached it differently. Like, I never thought of any kind of diet before as like, oh, a challenge for myself, let me see if I can do it. It was always like dread leading up to when I started a diet, and feeling like, oh, I have to get like all these like binge day ins before I start my diet. Like, that's how I would go into a diet before. It was just like setting myself up to fail, because it was like I was gonna eat all the things leading up to that Monday. Of course it was a Monday when I've always started a diet before, and for this one I believe I started on a Sunday, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't know before Sunday that I was gonna do it. It wasn't intentionally planned beforehand. It was, you know, I came across it and it was just like, let's see if I can do that. And I did it for a week and continued on. And so yeah, there's been days on fast days that I haven't fasted, but I don't feel like discouraged. I think I'm somewhere around week 6, and I'm starting this week ready to alternate day fast for Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday this week. I do have a few things coming up in May that I'm like, oh, if I could lose like a few more pounds, that'd be amazing before we're going like to Great Wolf Lodge. I've got a girls trip planned in May. So if I could lose a few more pounds before that, so that's a little extra motivation to make sure I stick with my fast days. So, but yeah, so I really like alternate day fasting. It's been good for me. So if you've been considering it, if you're thinking about it, but if it seems like it's gonna be too hard, too overwhelming, it is just one step at a time, one day at a time. You can do it. And I think you'll feel pretty good about yourself after you do it, to kind of see what you've done for yourself and that you've made a decision to do something to challenge yourself, and then you've stuck with it. Definitely is a really good feeling. I think it definitely gives you that boost of confidence that you need to continue on. And you just know that if you want something on that fast day, on that first fast day, you can have it the next day. And so, and if you're a working mom, you know, like me, and incorporating that into your work life, you want to make sure that you're fasting. I need gloves because I have Raynaud's, and when I go out, my fingers turn white. So, and it gets very painful. Incorporating that into your work week. So you need to figure out what days work for you. So if it's, you know, a 4-3 split where you eat 4 days and then you fast 3 days, which is what I do, and that way I know every week which days I'm not going to eat, and I can plan my weeks around that. And I think you know probably what days are better for you. And so I know that Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are good for me and with my work schedule. Like fasting on a Friday, that would never work. Usually Fridays are, you know, having dinner with friends, or, you know, and things like that. So I just know that like Fridays are just not a good day. So my 4-3 split of fasting on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays is what works for me and works for my work life and my personal life. So hopefully that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. All right, have a good one.